account that simply anonymously is engaging in stochastic terrorism, which I think is still worthy of unmasking, versus a stochastic terror account that also was officially collaborating with organs of the government, which Chaya was. Ron DeSantis's own personal spokesperson was working alongside Chaya Raichik, getting notes from her, which made it even additionally more valid as far as journalism goes. She's also one of the dumbest people on the planet. Here's on January 24th, 2023, Libs of TikTok creator Chaya Raichik said, "They made up the term stochastic terrorist for us. So honestly, like, that makes me feel really important."
The stochastic terrorism term, like, for me, like,
no, they did. They did make it up for. They did make it up for you. No, they did. I'm giving you the credit. I'm saying they accused me of that, but they didn't make up the word. Then they made up the word for you. You are the stochastic terrorist.
They weren't using that term back then.
No, Dora, you woke them up to their full regard. Let me clarify. But they were accusing me of that, but they didn't have a word for it yet.
Yeah, they literally made that up for like me, Tucker, and Matt Walsh and Chris Rufo. Like, they made up the term stochastic terrorist for us. So honestly, like, that makes me feel really important. So thank you.
That dude being real or playing into it? No, he's like an unabashed fascist himself, of course. Elijah was fired from the Blaze for sexually assaulting a coworker. This is correct. That is Elijah, whatever the fuck his last name is, I forget, who was too much of a sexual assaulter and a sexual harasser for him to be fired from a place that literally is a placeholder and a permanent jobs program for sexual assaulters and sexual harassers that were fired from Fox News. By the way, according to Wikipedia, the term stochastic terrorism was coined in 2002 by Gordon Wu, but the invention term as it is used today was 2011. Chaya is 28 years old. Oh my God. Chaya Raichik is 28 years old? Are you for fucking real right now? God damn, she's so hurt. Holy moly, that is a bad 28, dog. That, you should not have told me that. Yo, yikes. Hate fucking ages you like nothing else. I'm 4 years older than her. There ain't no fucking way. I'm 4 years older than this woman? That's actually kind of, wow. That's crazy. I did not know that. Oh my God. What is on her shirt? She is wearing a t-shirt that has Taylor Lorenz's face on it because she is insane. She thinks this is cool and fun and funny. But to the average person, to the onlooker from the outside, to the bus driver, if you will, if we're going to talk about, the bus driver thing that I talk about all the time, could you describe, like, how would a bus driver receive you? Like a freak, because she is a freak. Let's continue.
So thank you so much for meeting. First of all, I saw Seth Dillon today saying that you guys are no longer affiliated. What happened with there? I know that he invested in you early. Was he a supporter of you?
Just parted ways.
For what reason?
Personal reasons.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What, you didn't align
Totally.
Seth Dillon is the CEO of Babylon Bee. Seth Dillon, famous for saying things on the timeline like, oh, this 14-year-old victim of rape is getting to learn the wonders of giving birth. Seth Dillon, who unironically has defended a 14-year-old rape victim being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. Just remember that. That Seth Dillon, owner of Babylon Bee, Mr. Babylon My Bee, that Seth Dillon recognized that the endless amounts of political drama that Chaya Raichik engages in with a sea of death threats that follow anytime she posts about someone was unfortunately too much and too hot for the Babylon motherfucking Bee. Remember, the reason why I gave you information on Seth Dillon beforehand is so that you understand even guys like that are like, oh, Chaya is a little bit too far and is actually bringing a lot of attention in a negative way and possibly opening us up for legal trouble. So we are going to part ways. At least that is my assessment, my personal assessment on the matter. Something to consider.
I believe in personal liberty and bodily autonomy personally.
So kids should be able to cut off their breasts if they think that they're boys.
I mean, I believe in gender ideology. I guess I personally, my feeling is that I believe in personal liberty. I grew up in a town where a lot of people for their middle school graduation, women got nose jobs. I knew somebody that got a boob job at age 14. And I guess I struggle to kind of understand the criticism when there's certainly no criticism of that sort of thing, right? But then there's criticism of this other sort of gender affirming, stuff. So
you're comparing a boy being allowed to chop off his penis to a teenage girl getting a nose job?
Well, just to be extra clear, I don't believe that 13-year-olds are able to make those sort of medical decisions.
Minors are, yeah.
Oh, really? And where?
Children's National Hospital in D.C. gives 16-year-olds hysterectomies.
Oh, 16-year-olds.
They gave me that. They told me that directly. They said 16 girls and younger. That's what they said. So hysterectomies. There are definitely minors. I know for sure I think it's 12 who are getting double mastectomies. They definitely allow vaginoplasties for minors and phalloplasties. I'm not aware of a specific case of a minor, but they allow 18-year-olds.
Yeah, which, 18-year-olds, you're an adult. But let's just get back to
So what she's doing here is maybe unsurprising for you if you're familiar with the way that right-wingers operate, is an exaggeration. It's across the board incorrect. Medical intervention of this kind for minors is heavily scrutinized, and it is only done as a last resort. The notion that they're just like lobbing off 16-year-old titties or whatever the fuck the way that she's trying to describe it is crazy. What that factors in is literally like incredibly rare instances of like cancer. The idea that this is a commonplace practice is insane. You're talking about breast reduction surgeries for like unique hormone issues and cancer treatment. It's not trans kids going in and getting this like voluntary procedure without any medical scrutiny whatsoever. The idea that this is like commonplace and super easy to conduct is ridiculous. DC Children's Hospital harassed over trans youth services. Yeah. In an audio recording posted Thursday by the conservative Twitter account Libs of TikTok, a Children's National employee appears to say that the hospital offers gender-affirming hysterectomies to minors. Since Thursday, the hospital has been the target of a large volume of hostile and threatening phone calls and emails, a spokesperson said in a statement to the Associated Press. The spokesperson also denied that Children's National performs hysterectomies for minors. None of the people who were secretly recorded by this activist group delivered care to our patients, they said. The information in the recording is not accurate. We do not perform gender-affirming hysterectomies for anyone under the age of 18. This, of course, does not stop Chaya Raichik's fan base from literally fucking sending bomb threats to the hospital and sending death threats to every single medical personnel there. The notion that this is a commonplace procedure that is happening all the time is completely and utterly made up. That's it. Earlier this month, doctors and staffers of Boston Children's Hospital reported receiving threats of violence. Just remember, guys, the bad guys are not the people sending bomb threats to a children's hospital. This is so comical that it's like something the Joker would do in a Batman subplot. It is like cliche. Issuing bomb threats at a children's hospital, I must be the good guy in this story. Former Brooklyn real estate agent and self-described stochastic terrorist Chaya Raichik, aka Libs of TikTok, is appointed to the Library Media Advisory Committee for Oklahoma schools, a state she doesn't reside in. She also sometimes complains to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk defends her. So, unfortunately for all of us, she has no valid background to have this position at all. She hasn't even lived in Oklahoma. The only reason why she was put into that position is because she is a petulant, psychopathic, bloodthirsty, monstrous transphobe. That's it. Those were her qualifications for the position. It was a way to say, we stand with you.
But let's just get back to the great replacement stuff, because I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that whole ideology?
There were some minds over the past 3 years that there were more illegals coming into our border than children being born in the U.S. Does that not look like they're trying to replace us?
I think one of the funniest parts about this, of course, is that the great replacement theory that she's channeling is objectively a white supremacist Nazi slogan. And of course, those very same white supremacist Nazis that champion the great replacement theory also believe that Jewish people are responsible for said great replacement theory, and Chaya is an Orthodox Jew. Perhaps she's too stupid to recognize that reality. I don't know. Because when people say they are doing great replacement, you are a part of the they. Lady, they don't mean like they are doing great replacement. Some might think it's like the liberals or the Democrats. The real ones, the actual fucking Nazis that have been championing this since the dawn of fascism, have directly laid the blame at Jews.
I guess sort of imagine America as a melting pot. Isn't that sort of what America was founded on?
No, but they're actually bringing in more people than are actually being born.
So I guess it sounds like you sort of do ascribe to this theory of the great replacement. How does that make
I just
you
look
feel?
at the facts and the numbers.
Well, so, I mean, just let's give a corollary, right? A lot of Jewish people fled, Europe, came over here also as immigrants. And there's a lot of criticism towards Jewish people in those movements, in those far-right movements. So I'm just wondering, as a Jewish woman, sort of how you feel about that and your role in cultivating this fan base that might think of you as a minority, an outsider.
Not all cultures are equal. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, those anti-Semites help me pay my bills. So, maybe they got some good ideas. That's so funny.
I know you have a lot of concerns about educational materials and books, library books and things, especially.
They're importing people who want to destroy America and who
Who's they? Haya? Who's the they?
You know, just back to the sort of education stuff. I know that you're